On this edition of the Local Lap, we've got racing from Plymouth Dirt Track. Phil Holland's in the groove. A Local Lap Extra, plus more. So stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Carly Stadler, driver of the number 10 Animal Pro Kart, and the Local Lap starts now.
The Local Lap is brought to you by Tri-City National Banks. Large enough to serve you, small enough to know you. Visit any of the 44 bank branches serving Southeast Wisconsin and let them help you with all of your banking needs. Visit tcnb.com. And by QPS Employment Group. Whether you're looking for work or looking for talent, QPS is your staffing solution. Visit us at qpsemployment.com. Now, your host of the Local Lap, Jim Tretow.
Welcome to the Local Lap, where the racers and fans stay connected. In this edition, we're on location at the Plymouth Dirt Track, located on the Sheboygan County Fairgrounds in Plymouth, Wisconsin. They're a great supporter of our show. We know you're going to enjoy what you're about to see here on the program. First, we're going to check in with Bill Holland in the groove.
Every year, Wisconsin International Raceway hosts the Red, White, and Blue State Championship Series. Win the Red, White, and Blue, and your name stands among the greats in Wisconsin stock car racing.
It means a lot to me. I mean, it's right up there with the championships I have here. I mean, you think about all the drivers that won it in the past, and to put your name on that list, it's pretty big accomplishment for somebody from this area.
It's a big deal for everyone to come race the Red, White, and Blue. You know, the car count's pretty high. Every car is competitive. And with all the fans that we get out here at WIR, it's exciting for everyone just to compete in it.
Like Rothy and Van Oudenhoven, three-time and defending champion Lowell Bennett grew up in the shadow of the Red, White, and Blue Series.
This is a pretty cool deal. You know, my dad raced here, and he's actually joining us tonight here. And so, you know, I've been around the Red, White, and Blue Series since it started, you know, watching and helping him through the years. And, you know, I was in the back of your mind thinking, oh, this would be really neat if you could win one of these, you know, and then to win the overall series, that's quite an accomplishment. I'm pretty proud of my team and what they've done.
It goes without saying every driver wants to win the Red, White, and Blue State Championship Series. But for one racer, just being here is a victory in and of itself. John Mydam, driver of the red number 3 late model, was seriously injured in a crash here at WIR last year. But he's back, and he's chasing a championship.
Said I had a couple broken vertebrae. Doctor said, you know what? He said, you know, they're broke, but, you know, I would suggest you just take a few weeks and heal up. And, you know, when he told me that, I got new life again. It's like, you know what? I'm not ready to quit. I don't want to quit.
We'll pick up action in the white race, the second of the 3 75-lap features in this series. Red, White, and Blue points leader Terry Baldry and Jeff Van Oudenhoven bring the field out of turn 4, and Pat Barrett throws the green flag. And right away, trouble. It's Kevin Eggert in the 98 going around. The yellow is out. Green Bay's Doug Malik in the 15 also involved. Back to green flag racing, and it's Terry Baldry setting the pace. Van Oudenhoven runs second, with Rob Vanderloop third in the 18 car. Lowell Bennett won 2 of the 3 red, white, and blue features last year, but he's back in the pack battling with former track champion Mark Schrader in the 7 car. And trouble in turn 4. Andy Monday in the 10 is involved, with Malik's 15 also in the mix. Back to green, and we have a battle for the lead. It's Steve Holzhausen, the veteran out of Bangor, Wisconsin, putting the heat on Baldry. Terry Baldry has led the entire race, but Holzhausen will muscle his way past and take over the lead. The 97 car is working tonight, and Tim Rothy is also working his way to the front. The 2008 champion will get past Baldry to take over second place. Late in the going, Holzhausen has to slow down for the lap car of Maxwell Schultz. Rothy will gain a lot of ground, his momentum never breaking. But this one will belong to Steve Holzhausen. He'll take the second leg of the red, white, and blue series and close in on Baldry for the overall points lead.
A lot of good racers out there, a lot lot of fast guys, and it was really tough getting to the front, especially Terry. When I did get to the front, he had a really good car and he was running a good line. I had to stay on his rear bumper for a while just to finally maybe get a shot at it. I got into him a little bit down here in 3. Didn't mean to do that. I apologize for that. But we both come out of it all right and kept going. But, pretty good all in all.
At Wisconsin International Raceway, I'm Bill Holland in the groove on the local lap where the racers and fans stay connected.
Welcome back to the local lap where the racers and fans stay connected. This portion of the local lap is brought to you by the Plymouth Dirt Track, located on the Sheboygan County Fairgrounds in Plymouth, Wisconsin. We're about ready to go racing in the Grand National Division here at the Plymouth Dirt Track. A great, great division, and one driver that stands out among many is Brian Gillis. Just before hot laps take place, we grabbed Brian here before you unloaded that car. Brian, talk about the Grand National Division and the fun you have racing here at the Plymouth Dirt Track.
It's a lot of fun racing here. It's local. It's just a couple miles from my house. The fans are great. The people that I race with, it's all great. It's like one big family down here. Everyone helps one another. When you need it, they're all here to help you out. It's just a lot of fun.
Well, we'll see if Brian Gillis keeps them in his taillights or they're out the front windshield of his race car. Here's the highlights from the Grand National Racing at the Plymouth Dirt Track.
Always one of the most popular divisions at the Plymouth Dirt Track. 25 cars pulled into the Grand National pit area. At the start of their feature event, it is 1998 Superstock champion John Dirks leading the charge. The field fans out off of corner number 2, and you get a great view of this fairgrounds dirt track. Back up front, Dirks from Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, will keep his sharp number 98 out front and glued to the bottom of the track. Three wide action in corner number 3, and Brett Wesell in the 34 gets caught in the middle. Wesell from Manitowoc is a second-generation racer. Big contact here as John Schultz, the third, gets into the back of Brian Gillis. Schultz goes around and will retire to the infield, while Gillis is able to hang on to his machine. To the checkered flag we go, and Dirks has a mirror full of Fieber and Gillis, while the 0-3 of Tim Warner tries the high side. Off the last turn, and Fieber gets a nose under the leader, but can't make it stick. Fieber finishes second, while Warner makes the outside work and finishes third. Dirks picks up his first Grand National win at the Plymouth Dirt Track.
We didn't really change much from the heat race. We were going to go a little tighter. We knew the track was going to dry out a little bit, but during the race I adjusted on the brakes a little bit, tried to get it to turn a little bit better and stay tight enough to finish the race. And, well, I was slacking up at the end, but it was enough to hang on. You got to finesse it. The tires are pretty hard on the cars, so you got to keep them underneath you, and you got to take it easy. I mean, they have pretty good smoke underneath the hood, but yeah, it's nowhere compared to the late models and sprint cars, but they got a little power underneath them.
Before the cars hit the racetrack here at the Plymouth Dirt Track, the fans were treated to a great car show, vintage race cars, and some beautiful classic cars like this 1956 Nomad I'm about to check out. We'll be right back with more on the local lap. Big game tree stands. Until you've hunted out of a big game tree stand, it's hard to know the meaning of rock solid. To find a tree stand that fits your needs, visit their website, biggametreestands.com. By Full Throttle Magazine, around Wisconsin's racing scene, giving it the coverage it deserves. Visit wapakanow.com. At the Plymouth Dirt Track, the dirt late models are a mainstay on a Saturday night, and one driver to watch certainly has a lot of laps here. Brad J.J. Miller in the late models here will be putting on a show no matter what position he's going to race for. And Brad, it's fun to watch you race here at Plymouth, but take us back when you first took laps here at Plymouth Dirt.
Wow, that was quite a long time ago. I think actually it was long when you were the announcer here. That was that long ago. 1987 was actually my first year here, and I raced here for probably 6 years. And then I switched over to the asphalt, come back here again in 06 and started racing the Grand Nationals, and now I've stepped up to the late models. There's 10 to 15 good cars here, and to wrestle these 2,300-pound, 800-horsepower cars around this little quarter mile, it can be a lot of work.
and a lot of fun. And really, if you want to come out and watch racing, Brad always puts on a show, so keep an eye on Brad J.J. Miller. As a matter of fact, we're going to the highlights from the racing action here at Plymouth Dirt Track. Here's Dean Strom to call the highlights.
As we drop the green flag on the 25-lap feature event for the late models, it is Brad Miller who will get the jump on the field from his front row starting spot. Craig Schiffner in the 70 and Tim Bueller will wrestle for the second spot, while perennial champion Russ Scheffler in the 74 and Brett Siebert battle it out for the fourth position. Oh, watch out. That's Bob Cullen in the 8 going around in turn 4. He'll continue on. No harm, no foul. Back up front, just past the halfway point, Tim Bueller in the number 7 moves to the outside of your leader, Brad Miller. Both of these drivers are hungry, as neither has scored a late model feature win on the Plymouth Dirt. After running side by side for 2 laps, Bueller will take the spot and pull away. Once again, Russ Scheffler in the 74. He makes a move on Ted Dolan in the 21. Dolan has been at this game for over 40 years. Scheffler will close in on your leader Bueller, but come up just a bit short, settling for the runner-up spot. Brad Miller finishes third. Glenbeulah, Wisconsin's Tim Bueller scores his first career late model win at the Plymouth Dirt Track.
It was a pretty good time. We had a blast on the outside. We had to run pretty hard on the outside. There's like 3 sweet spots on the outside to get the right rear on. And we ran pretty hard against Bradley, and then we finally got past him and went back on the bottom, and the race went pretty well. The bottom was a shorter way around there, and there was a lot of tack right against the bottom because the way the water to track here runs down to the bottom and it sits down along the bottom groove down there. Therefore, you want to run down there and then make the big oval out of this place and get the right rear up on the brown down the straightaways and not shed off too much speed. Our season's going pretty good this year. You know, we had some motor problems, and last night we had running really good in the feature. I think we probably could have won the thing. We got second, and then 9 laps into it, we blew the rear end up because the track was so rough. But it's going pretty good.
Welcome back to the local lap at the Plymouth Dirt Track. We're very happily joined by one of the top 360 sprint car drivers you'll catch every Saturday night right here at Plymouth. And Paul Pekorski, thanks for joining us. You've had early season success. Tell us how things are going here in 2010 for you.
Pretty good so far. We've had some nights better than others, as is generally the case with racing. But we won a feature about 4 weeks ago or so here. Since then, we've been missing things a little bit. Driver's head's not screwed on straight or something. And so we haven't been going quite as smoothly as we'd like, but hopefully we get things straightened out here tonight.
With the speeds you carry here at Plymouth, and it's a fairly short track for the sprint cars, and all that horsepower you have to take to the right rear tire, what is it about Plymouth that makes it such a challenge to get it right?
It's very tight corners, a relatively narrow racing surface compared to some other racetracks that we race on. So you're very in tight quarters with one another. Every time or whenever you're out there with other cars, it's tight quarters. Everybody's really got to be on their toes, and you got a lot of horsepower and the front end's dancing around, and it makes it exciting.
We know you're a busy guy. We certainly appreciate you taking a few minutes with us here in the Fan Midway to spend some time on our local lap stage. We wish you well tonight, and we're going to show some highlights now, and hopefully Paul Pekorski's in a bunch of them. Here's Dean Strong with the highlights of the 360 sprint cars from the Plymouth Dirt Track.
The 360 sprint cars are always the showstoppers at the Plymouth Dirt Track, and tonight is no exception. Shane Weniger and 51 Jim Mellis lead the 22-car field down to the green. And quickly, Mellis finds the outside to his liking, using it to shoot into the lead. A big bottleneck in the third corner, and there are cars everywhere. But we stay green. 10 laps in the books, and Mellis bobbles in corner number 1, allowing Kurt Davis to shoot under for the lead. Davis in that yellow 6K masterfully works around lap traffic, as there are cars everywhere around this tight bull ring. Here the West Allis, Wisconsin speedster works past Al Schlafer. Davis will lead the remainder of the race and bring his Rapina-sponsored Sprinter to the checkered flag, picking up his 3rd feature win of the year at the Plymouth Dirt Track and extending his championship point lead. Ben Schmidt finishes 2nd with TJ Lutke 3rd.
It's a good thing here at Plymouth they got a scoreboard, so I could tell who's behind me and what's going to go on. I know where they're going to go, and Schmidt was on the outside, so I come down the back straightaway on the high side because I know he likes to run the high side, and Mellis was on the inside, and I just creeped around on the bottom and got a good run off of 4 for the start and went right to the cushion, and then it was all over. I thought, actually, my motor was laying down a little bit coming out of the corner. I actually thought these guys were right on me, but when I talked to my crew, they said I won by like 4 or 6 car lengths at least. So car was good tonight. I got to thank my guys. We've struggled here the last couple weeks. Some motor problems and stuff, and my guys been working late nights, and they do this for the fun of doing it. I don't pay them, and if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be doing this. I gotta thank Randy the guy that I teamed up this year with Call Girl Motorsports. This deal is really gelling together well. It's our third win, and we're looking for more.
We're going to take a quick pit stop. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Local Lap from the Plymouth Dirt Track. Here's this edition's The Local Lap Extra.
The record book says he was a world-class snowmobile racer. Wausau's Flip Merwin owned 2 top 10 finishes in his sports world championship. But those who knew him, like 3-time world champion P.J. Wanderscheid, will tell you Flip Merwin was much more.
You know, I'll never forget in Eagle River, it wasn't, a few hours before he lost his life, and he was commenting how good I was running out in the heat races in Eagle River. You know, that's just the kind of guy he was, and, you know, he was not only there for himself, but because he loved racing and, you know, loved to be out there.
Wausau racer Matt Schultz looked up to Flip Merwin as a young driver, and in January realized his dream of winning the World Championship in Eagle River, Wisconsin himself. After taking the checkers, Schultz stopped to recognize Flip Merwin's father, who'd returned to Eagle River for the first time since his son was lost 7 years ago.
Big Pat and the guys finally got him up there this year, and it was his first time watching up on the hill, watching the race, and we brought home the checkered flag that day. So it was pretty cool, you know, for him and for the rest of the guys on the team that worked real hard. So it was really special.
Fast forward to much warmer weather and the Flip Merwin Memorial Stock Car Race at State Park Speedway. The snowmobile racers have a night off, but their asphalt counterparts will be racing hard. From the beginning, there's been a very fierce loyalty to the Flip Merwin Memorial Race. One driver has said more than once he'd race this night for nothing.
Oh yeah, I'd run it for nothing. Flip was a fantastic guy. I've known him almost all my life, and we bowled together, our families. Ralph sponsored my dad, and then Ralph sponsored me after my dad retired, and so I feel I owe that to the Merwins to be out here.
He was my brother's best friend, and I mean, I grew up with Flip. Him and my brother went to school, and I mean, I knew Flip from when I was little, so I mean, he helped me out. He helped me out on my first race car, Bill, than that, so yeah, I mean, Flip was an excellent person, and pretty much knew him almost my whole life.
You know, he was our Larry Degens, you know. He was our JFK. You know, we're just a whole different age group, and you know, a lot of us miss him. He's a good friend, and I'm just glad to see his good turnout of cars tonight and fans and stuff, and it means a lot, you know, to his mom and dad to have this going on, I believe.
We'll pick up the racing action in the Super Stock feature, and this one will get off to a wild start on the tight paved oval. Matt Pyburn in the 71 and Scott Luck in the 12 get sideways in turn 3, and it all breaks loose behind the leaders. The 78 of Scott Hamill into the wall hard. The caution flies early in this one. We'll settle down to a 2-car battle. It's Mike Gwitt leading in the 25 with Lyle Nowak right there in the 36 car. Nowak hasn't raced at State Park Speedway in 7 years, but he has a shot to win tonight. Coming to the line, it's Mike Gwitt holding on to take the checkered flag.
To be able to hold him off, it was pretty exciting. I remember coming here as a kid and watching him race in all the different divisions and do really well. So it was pretty cool to pull one off against Lyle.
We're ready for 75 laps of late model action. It's Chad Selk in the 29 and Jesse Hayes in the 02 on the front row. Troy Engman waves the green flag, and this one is underway. Looks like the 02's off the pace, and Jesse Hayes is in trouble in front of the entire field. The former State Park Speedway champion is in the wall, and just like that, his night is over. Back to green flag racing, and it's M.G. Gajewski in the 1 car taking over the top spot. Gajewski's another former track champion, and he can be a tough customer when he gets a lead. Battle for second, and it's Chris Weinkoff who won the opener here, getting by Chris Wimmer in the 52 car. We'll find out very soon if Weinkoff has anything for Gajewski. The 99 is coming. Weinkoff will make the pass on Gajewski for the lead just before trouble in turn 2 as Mike Beyer goes around. Later, after another yellow flag, big trouble on a restart. Half a dozen cars involved in this one, with the 58 of Cardell Potter getting the worst of it. Back to green, and it's Jeremy Lepak, the 2-time national short track champion, trying to chase down the leader. but it's Chris Weinkoff winning the Flip Merwin Memorial.
We're really very happy. You know, got to thank the Kerslings for giving me this opportunity to drive their car, and Ed Holmes for putting a great setup underneath it, and all the fans that were here. And once again, you really got to think about Flip. He was looking down on us, obviously.
At State Park Speedway, I'm Bill Holland on the local lap, where the racers and fans stay connected. Norway Speedway in Upper Michigan hosts the Mid-American Stock Car Series for an old-fashioned short-track shootout. One gunslinger to watch is former late model driver Greg Hayes.
Mid-Am's always had good luck with it and had fun with everybody. It's a good traveling group, and I got this car earlier the week and worked midnight every night trying to get it done to be here tonight, so we'll see how tonight goes.
Defending race champion Lyle Nowak is right at home at an old-school speedway like Norway.
This is a nice facility. It's an old fairground-style racing where racing used to grow up. We're looking forward to tonight. I think we got a pretty nice little hot rod for tonight.
We're catching up with the Mid-Am Series roughly halfway through the 2010 schedule. You bring drivers from 4 states to a short track just across the Michigan state line, you don't know what to expect. They'll go green for 40 laps in the A main feature. Up front, it's a pair of young Wisconsin drivers. Austin Ludke in the 6 car, leading with Travis Rodewald in the 27 running second. Rodewald makes the pass with Lyle Nowak, the defending race champion, in 3rd. Nowak will get past Ludke for the 2nd spot. And trouble as Ludke and the 21 of Adam Benzik get together in turn 1. Both will go to the back. On the restart, it's Nowak making the pass and taking the lead in the 32 car. The veteran going for back-to-back wins at Norway. Contact as 4-time series champ James Swan passes Rodewald for 3rd. Now coming to the line, Lyle Nowak will continue one of the amazing stories in racing. 30 years after losing his right hand in a farming accident, the Wausau veteran will hold off Bill Preetzel for back-to-back Mid-Am wins at Norway. The latest chapter in a remarkable career.
I've got 30 years of practice, first off, and we really work hard at trying to make the car turn for me, so it's easier for me to steer and drive. And a lot of that is Brian Bach and the help that they've been giving me. And a lot of it is, you know, you can't do anything about what's happened in the past. You just got to make best with what you got.
At Norway Speedway, I'm Bill Holland with your local lap extra.
Karts on pavement? Not today. Every Tuesday night, Beaver Dam Raceway in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin lets dirt karters compete on their 5th-mile dirt track. The beautifully prepared track sits inside the 3/8 mile big car track. Kart racers of all ages can compete each week and test their skills against other Midwestern youngsters. In just its 2nd full season, the track has grown in popularity and provides a great family experience. It's also the perfect venue for 2nd and 3rd generation racers to hone their skills. One of those 3rd generation racers recently found victory lane. Here's the local lap's Jeff Wesell.
With tonight's Kid Kart regular feature win, Cody Schlafer. Cody, congratulations on the win.
Okay.
And you had to start from the back in that event. Did you know you had to make your way through the traffic?
Yeah.
And how was that?
It was hard.
It was hard, but nonetheless made your way through the front. How was the track tonight, Cody?
Good.
And this is now what win for you? How many wins have you got so far this year?
3.
3 wins, picking up a feature win in the Kid Kart class here tonight at Beaver Dam Raceway Park, Cody Schlafer.
Promotional consideration has been provided by Big Game Tree Stands, Scottfield Builders, and by Ray Graphics. Post-production facilities for the local lap are provided by Caveman Productions.